Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class. If you can fit, I'll... Okay, well...
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No! That's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because
My goodness. This man.
she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
My goodness.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Shoot!
Is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Yes, I agree.
Must have been wearing gloves.
No, it's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails. I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
F you.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
True.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, it's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Actually, a wolf. It's not a dog. I'll go with that one.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs, all of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Yeah, but the problem is that because of the sprinklers, the time of death took place in the morning. However, the problem for Kyoko and for Makoto is that they are still the prime suspects indifferent of that.
exactly so.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
No, it's much later.
What time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
I think it was 9, right?
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Yeah, but I can clear myself because of that 7:30.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Yeah, okay, I wanted to see when I could object, so I think I should
We've
object
established
during
a time frame
her
that took place somewhere
conversation.
between 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Oh, not that one?
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
No, that's wrong.
I didn't know if it was him or her, but...
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
Oh, good.
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean by denying the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny my entire...
Oh my goodness, girl.
You're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Oh my goodness, no, F this.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! You don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! You don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on!
Oh my goodness.
Trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! How can you say it?
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
Not necessarily. It means she was just moved there at that time, but...
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is...
Yeah.
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever, which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
trick is gonna work.
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss. Shutting up now.
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
Yeah.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm
Yeah.
listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Yeah, unfortunately that is true. Okay, where is it? It's this one.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean.
It should have had blood on it
This
though.
proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
That's because she thinks she's more important than you in this whole thing. She clearly knows that she has more brain power to figure out this case, and getting rid of you would obviously be the better choice. The problem here is that if you are not the killer, which you probably aren't because MC, then everybody dies, including her, so it's not to her benefit either way to kill you off. Unless she knows for sure that it was you. Yeah, so there must have been blood and there was no blood.
Wait. Something's
Yes.
not right.
Come on.
And what might that be?
Oh, we can refute what you said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
That's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, no.
Of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
Oh man, the blood wasn't dry, which means that either this whole thing was staged, this whole body was staged, or so that blood was quite literally poured right then and there, or this murder was very recent, which means nobody's in the clear.
Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
So only one
If
side?
they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh! Yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Yeah.
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something
Oh, come
like
on.
that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood
Yeah.
bags from the nurse's office.
I mean, we just had an idiot who did
That's
just
what
that.
Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
Yep.
No, that's not what happened this time.
Go for
Killer
it,
got the
say.
blood from right there in the garden.
What? Hop on the chicken.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before
She's
the murder,
not dead,
there
is
were
she?
5 chickens.
The body's not dead,
But
is it?
after the murder,
But then,
there were only 4.
no, maybe the body is dead. I don't know.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing
Yeah,
a
that's
living
the thing
thing
that
just
gets
to do
you.
something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Oh my
I
goodness.
wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
How do you know? Did it?
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
Yeah.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still,
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Are you serious?
that's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate. Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it?
At this point, your alibis could not be good if we can't... If We already established that the scene of the crime has been tampered with. That means that the body could have not been killed there, which means that the body could have just as easily been killed before you guys stayed up all night together. So at the end of the day, none of you have alibis if we're gonna go on such crazy tangents for a case like this. This is just ridiculous. I thought I said that the previous one was the worst case. Okay, never mind. This one is worse than the previous one.
Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh,
My god.
See?
Oh no.
Pretty good idea, right?
Some idiots would actually
no,
go for
not
that.
that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
One we found stuck in the body before it exploded,
Yeah,
right?
that's gonna pin it on me even more.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Yeah, the knife that they gave. Oh my goodness, she framed
The
me.
knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Thought that you could be. Even not knowing it. Total body analysis fragments near the dead body. I don't know, let's see what
The
they...
knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No.
No, it's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Cover it up. Why? Ah, a single time, okay.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
And the
I...
knife,
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
And we don't know what actually killed her because they also... Oh man. So somebody came to the scene of the crime and did this and then got the explosive and also put the explosive on her. Toko was it feels like it's Toko. The reason why it feels like it's Toko is because it's kind of bleeding. This just like everybody else, but I don't know what her motives would be. Like, I honestly have no bloody clue.
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed him. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
What do I gotta tell her? Oh, do I have actually on?
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect.
Actually, no.
You, Kyoko.
Just terrible.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
Kind of. Okay, so we have a useless file, so we have to take something that somebody said.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Okay.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Exactly, man, but I tried to get explosion. I don't know what I'm supposed to throw it at.
Shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Let's try and do this. My god, that works. What the? No! How? He was hit on the head?
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Oh my goodness.
I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
Oh my god.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Wow.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
I need to consider this one. Oh, the knife. It can't be the chicken. What in the bloody hell? There's no way.
I got it!
Yeah. Where
Mukuro
did
was
you?
hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
Okay, so that was it.
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, because in the, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as it seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, that's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
Yes, you
How
have.
can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
She was to the dojo, but yes, we do have evidence. We have evidence that somebody planted something in Kyoko's room.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle.
No, actually, you had her key.
Your
There's no point.
non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, that's because you're also culprit.
It's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
Yeah, you had her key. I don't think that's a proper clue.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
You aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, actually, girl, this all falls apart when you consider the fact that you were able to flipping enter. Stop that auto thing. I'm gonna bitch slap somebody. You were able to enter Makoto's room without his key. So the fact that you can't enter your room without a key is just outright bullshit. That this story is... You have access somehow. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. Yup, there is. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened because she's the killer, or is it something else? Or is there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? You vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. Mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko, but What if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I do? Am I sure the victim was Mukuro and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? Am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie? I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. Yeah, because she was in your room. The only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind trap. You spend all your time trying to avoid danger. What do I do? I have to decide right here and now. Nope. Fuck you.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
Yeah, I don't
You said
care.
it. The burden of proof is on you, so let's hear it. Where's this lie, then? I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Then, when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there. That's the only explanation. I've gotten into my room.
What's that you? I don't care, I don't believe you.
No. Kyoko could have gotten into her room.
Yup.
You said so yourself. Didn't you, Kyoko?
Yup.
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing—
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Then, are you saying you really didn't, Kyoko? You really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
But will the bear kill us anyway? Even if we get Kyoko wrong. I'm curious. What happens if we get Kyoko wrong? Do I have to restart the trial? Alright. Listen, gal, you're guilty of something. I just don't know what it is. Wait a second. Good job. You got it right. Haha, brilliantly right. We got it right. Doesn't mean Kyoko really is the killer, but something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko?
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
Is everyone ready? Okay, then
Let's
let's...
give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I'm questioning whether there's a divergent path here. On whether I save her or I don't save her. I choose to kill her because I think it's actually Makoto. I think Makoto is the mastermind because I think Byakuya didn't have the opportunity or the motive to kill this woman. A motive he may have had, but I also don't believe that he's guilty, so I personally just don't want to go back and forth forever and ever between them suspecting either Makoto or suspecting her. So I'm just gonna kill her. I don't care. That's my choice. Sorry, girlie. I was suspicious of you from the get-go. If I get a bad ending, I don't care. Goodbye. She should have worked with me. To be our last class trial? Oh my god! Wow, look at this. Did I? I got an ending. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh, that's phenomenal. Oh, that is so good. Wait a second. Who are the kids? Okay, so she died. Jill died. And what? Is she the baby mama for all three? Or is Jill's baby, or is Byakuya's baby Jill's actually?
No! This isn't right!
What the fuck? You gave me hope only to take it away! Why is that not an ending? Let me have that ending! Oh, I am so disappointed with all of this.
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Oh my god. But we moved forward. We stopped the... Was that really a future? But apparently not. Apparently that was Makoto's wishful thinking, and then he was like, I don't like that life, fuck it, so... Well, I already tried to pursue the line, it wouldn't let me. Let's run away this time. Fuck it. Ah! They're not even letting me run away. One of those. Only one answer is right. The rest are actually non-options. That is so disappointing to see. I swear, game. That is so disappointing. You could have just left me with that ending. I had a save file right before this trial. Why couldn't you just leave me with an ending like that? That is so... I am disappointed. That's my canon ending. We killed Kyoko. The rest of the guys lived happily ever after. I don't care what happens past this point. My ending is done. That was my ending. Like, I made my choice and the game refused to acknowledge it. I'm gonna refuse to acknowledge what happens after this. I should actually stop playing here, legitimately, and I'm thinking about it, but quite frankly, okay, I'll just go forward to see what happens with this bullshit. But as far as I'm concerned, that was my ending, okay? Now I don't want to believe in her.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But then it would fall on Byakuya, and I don't think he's guilty.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key,
Yeah,
right?
that's the problem, see?
You! What are you trying to imply?
The only logical conclusion, if my bitch ass of a character doesn't want to put his cheap girlfriend under the bus.
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime
Yes,
on,
thank
I was
God.
with you guys the entire time.
Yeah, the problem is that you could have...
I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of.
Yeah, unfortunately, it could be Toko. Now they're gonna
Someone
blink.
could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
Yeah, we're going back to me. Great.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
But now they're gonna vote
Voting
for
time?
Makoto.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Okay, it's clear to one thing is clear to me, that the bear does not give a shit who the right choice is. The right choice as far as he is concerned is Kyoko, because he wants to get rid of her. My character is stupid, or the actual mastermind gone amnesic or something. So he doesn't want my character to die, but then again, he was so willing to let my character die in all of the other trials. I could have been voted out and then everybody would have been killed, but actually I don't know the results of the trials because they never actually show anybody be executed. I just get another chance to prove that it's not Makoto. So it could have still been the mastermind basically just deciding to execute everybody except for Makoto. So again, the bear wants to execute Kyoko. It doesn't matter if she did it.
Hey, hold on! What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Is it even possible for everyone to not vote Makoto? Nope, they voted Makoto. Great. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man. Yeah, sorry. Oh, your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it wrong. I didn't do it. Good job, everyone. Good job. Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense. The same as always, just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way. Time for your head. Heart pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
So somehow something's gonna save me. Obviously, because main character, plot armor. Oh, she was willing to let me die. Oh, that bitch. Wait, does my character actually get killed? in the same way as Kyoko would have died. Ah, never mind, this is non-canon for me, I don't care. Like, I do not believe in this bullshit. As far as I'm concerned, my canonism is that I killed Kyoko. She deserves it. But this is the first time that I'm actually gonna see him get punished. Because technically speaking, I was voted out during all of the trials. I lost all of the previous trials. At one point, at the very least once. So... Oh! Oh, there she is! Hello! She's in the system! She's in the system! Oh my god, she actually saved me. Wow. Then again, a fall like that on my head would have totally gotten me killed. What is this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Oh yeah, it had to be. Alter Ego. Alter Ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planned it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this. You finally made the miscalculation. No, we miscalculated from the beginning. What was that?
In other words,
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you are never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage tube pit. In a way that's even better. Special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Be gone. Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell's going
calm
on?
down.
Okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did
What are
you
you
say?
talking about?
so
You'll understand soon enough, very soon indeed. Okay, I'm gonna end this episode there, but consider this to technically speaking be my ending, you know, like I will continue playing this bullshit. Probably has an end scene, whatever, I don't care. My ending was that I threw Kyoko under the bus and we all lived happily ever after. That is my canon ending. Thank you for watching, have a nice day.